喂，啊，可以了。
等一下，这两个荧幕是 mirror 对吧？就是一样的，我看这里也可以看这里。
但是这个有镜头，所以就不要移动这个就行。
哦，OK。因为我看这个荧幕有点反光，因为那边比较亮，所以得跟着看那边。
就还是有一些人。
肯定啊，龙头当然谁没有这个赚钱不好呀。
对，我说的我就是人还是。
澳洲都有主业嘛。
尼日利亚。啊，是。
但是我们这次没有尼日利亚。
嗯。
对，因为尼日利亚要过来要签证。
上面这个是什么？
就是这些非洲国家只有尼日利亚。
这个圆的这个。
这个是电源。
哦，电源。所以我应该是按这两个，对不对？OK。
没有没有，我们现在很多非洲人。肯尼亚，对对对，我们有肯尼亚和加纳，然后还有乌干达，还有印度。但是我的，因为他们都基本上很多都跟支付强相关的，越聊越好。
这个是一开始的时候他们写的吗？
对，我们有个每个礼拜二一天吧，每个礼拜二有个入名大会，然后就是有，因为不断的会有新的人来嘛，有的人不会来1个月，然后有新的人来就
OK。
让他们写写。我们本来有个签到墙还没到，到时候会把它粘在那儿，应该。
所以这个就是他们想达成的目标，这样。I wish. OK
对
OK.
对对。
Feel together. Work-life balance. Work-life balance. Therefore, you can try.
OK 吗？
Have a seat.
在这里的都到了，看看还需要主持一下吗？你们可以有什么？
对，有人会一开始做一个 opening 还是什么的 ？Please move forward. I feel lonely. It's a bit too close. I feel. Yeah, I think it's okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you can use this as a table.
Okay.
Cool. So those notes are all from all of you, you guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Which one is yours?
Oh, okay. Mine is.
Build, learn, grow, and connect.
Connect.
Yeah. Lasting part.
Last impact. Expand the circle of my life. Experience to the moon. Moon down.
Someone need to do an opening or.
Yeah, of course. I think I'm going to gather people around.
Oh.
Yeah. Come. And you can like grab seat over here.
Make yourself comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And move the table like whatever. The direction you want.
Okay, then I can take the water. Are you all like developers? Most of you are developers. Cool.
I start?
Is someone there? I don't know.
Somebody is hiding in the great room?
Let me go check.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Yes. Yes, yes. Wow. Wow. People really love their thought. Wow. Amazing. Wow. You know, we have three small
Like phone booths.
room, yeah, phone booth, and we call it rage room.
Okay.
And like people like really would love to hide inside. It's amazing. Okay. So I think we could start and let's welcome our beloved friend from Token and to give us a report. Thank you.
Okay, so before I start, I just want to show this image to everyone. I guess like all of you are building something in crypto area, in blockchain area. So this photo I added before I come to here. It shows like worldwide, there are around 7% of the population who are in this crypto world. That means we have like massive opportunity because compared to the traditional financial system, which is almost like everyone, right? So now it's like very early stage. So welcome to this world. Before I start, I'd like to introduce I'm Token. I joined the company around 3.5, roughly that period of time. And when I just joined, I think we have I'm Token Wallet, which is a wallet app, and I'm Key, which is a hardware wallet. Then we have Revo, which is a payment service we are trying to engage. Token Loan, which is a decentralized exchange platform, and Ventures help us to get partnership and invest in this area. So now we're trying to synthesize all these different areas. Right? So I am Feng Yi. I'm a user researcher, product researcher, but I'm not from a technology background. I'm from psychology background. So before I joined this company, I was working for the Web2, big and small startup and ex-company like Grab and Google. So I want to know how user can utilize technology and do bigger things. I try to be the connection between technology and people. So I'm more into, especially for today's sharing, especially all of you are so familiar with technology. I won't add too much about the technology. I want to add more on, we are trying to build a platform, help users to get into this crypto world. And along this process, some of the things we are trying and we are learning, this process I hopefully can help some of you to have a greater journey, to have a smoother journey. Okay, so echo to what I just said, we are building this web app platform, which is a user-friendly platform to help users. There are 4 parts of the slide. One part is how the journey started. When we just started, I think last year, August, September, around there. And then along the journey, we built for some event. We try different new things. In October, in October, we want to go to market. And we are trying different things, doing different preparation for different stage. And also, at the end of the slide, I was trying to summarize some of the things we learned along the journey. Okay, so before we started, we were trying to think about how can we utilize blockchain, this technology, for the tokenized world. So back then, last year, for the last 2-3 quarters, there are a lot of new technology coming up. AA, GA, I believe all of you are more familiar with those terminology than I do. But what does that mean to the users? And how can we utilize those technology to enable or empower people to achieve more? Then the second thing is about if the user already in this crypto world, how can they interact with the crypto world, navigate in this world with more confidence? How many of you are confident to share your technology or your platform or your product to your siblings or to your parents? You might be comfortable sharing with people who are in this room because people have the same knowledge, or at least they are more open-minded. At least they are not afraid of technologies, right? But most of the ordinary people who are very not interested in all the technology terms. And if they don't understand what is gas, if they don't understand what is gas abstraction or cross-chain transaction, how can we get them into this crypto world? So that goes to the third one. If they are newbie, how can we onboard them easier when they don't need to know everything at once? They just need to take the first few steps to get into this field. Then how can we minimize the effort but maximize the value of interacting with crypto? Okay, then our CEO come up with this line. This is the vision, this is the precision we want to put this product. Like Kindle for books, right? There are different channels, different platforms people can interact with books on Kindle, this platform. How can we help people to interact with different tokens on different devices, different platforms? And always gradually, as we go along this slide, you will see it reflect in different part of the product. So we want people to enjoy and learning, interacting with the tokens with ease, anytime, anywhere. And it's important to know what it is. It's also important to know what it's not. It's not another wallet. It's not a static website. It's not a key manager. You don't need to pre-install the product. It's a web-based, it's lightweight, and we want to help people to explore this area with confidence. Okay. Then break down into 4 different aspects. What are the motivations people get to this platform? Why do people want to get into this world? And what the flow looks like, how the experience looks like, how the interaction looks like, and what are the information or data we can help the user to get the insight instead of getting all the raw data. And that transform into 4 different value propositions for the users. One is to send to anyone, then access token functions from anywhere, then find my holdings in one place, then explore millions of tokens at fingerprints. We know there are like more and more tokens every day at different network, different chains, different usage, but how can we simplify that into one platform and help user to interact with the tokens? Okay, then the second part is about all this journey from last year. So a few product areas we try to define at the very beginning. One is how do we get to attract user to come to our platform? We kind of like enable user to easily claim some of the smaller tokens, then get them interested on this platform, then they can start exploring this platform. So how can we help them claim token easily? Then the second part is the homepage of the platform. How can we help user to explore the tokens at their fingerprints? Then how the token looks like. Today, if you look at the token, different ways of using, different market size, different chains, everything there listed on a lot of platforms, it looks very scary if you don't have all the knowledge like all of you having it now. Then how can we simplify all those data for the users so it won't look so scary? It should look like you go to whichever shopping platform and you want to know this product, then there are a few things for you as a reference to know more about this product. Then gradually you can do whatever you want to do to this product. Okay, then we all know this seed phrase is kind of troublesome, right? You are using the most advanced technology, but you ask people to grab one paper and write down like 12 words or 24 words. And in Mandarin, it literally means help you to remember, which is very difficult to remember, right? And how can we get rid of all of this, but it's actually more secure, safer, more convenient? So passkey is one thing we try to apply in this product. Okay, so last year in August, we kind of kick off this product, which we, as I mentioned, have the vision and positioning, value to the users, key product areas defined, and the product roadmap, kind of like that more people in the team understand what we want to do, what we want to achieve, what we are going to build. Okay, then if some of you remember last year in December, we have the DevCon in Thailand. And we want to take that as a event, as a place to show this very early product prototype to the guest in that occasion. You know, people who participate DevCon, they are not ordinary people. Right? They kind of understand crypto a little bit. They are like highly interested in this area, right? So if our product like didn't get so much of interest in that occasion, that is a sign for us. We have to do something about it. So what did we do? Around this area, we have a coffee store hosted there, and people passing by the MRT station, then they will pass by our store, our booth, then they can do some interaction to our product, where we can gather real feedback from the real users who passing by. Okay, so in this event, we want to test these 4 things. One is the way we think about how to present the token. Do people get it? How do people feel about it? How can we make it better? Right. Then the second one, claim token flow with the contract account, which is when you use the passkey, you actually create a new account. But how does the flow look like from the user's perspective? What are some of the terms they don't understand? Do they feel it's safer, or do they feel, oh, I don't really understand what it is? I just do what the page asks me to do, but I don't know what I'm doing. What's their reaction? Okay. Then the third thing is about the homepage. How do people feel about it when they land on this product? Then the last one is the token page. There are actually some profile information about this token and some actions you can do with the token. How do people react to it? Okay, so some of the early exploration of the key product areas on this platform, and because we want the users can access our platform everywhere, right? So since the beginning, we think about the mobile version and the desktop version. And gradually along this slide, you will see like some of the early versions are quite different from what eventually it looks like. Okay, so this is the collection of a bunch of tokens. And this is a token profile page at the beginning, how we profile it. Okay, so the first one is we explore different things, different product areas. Then the second thing I want to share is, if you see this one, it's actually at the very early stage, the designers help us to prototyping one of the idea, which means you don't need any front end or back end engineer to work on this. You can already sense how it feels like from a user's perspective. Because in a tech company, what is the most expensive thing is the development resource, right? If you don't need any development resource and you can see this, you can already sense that how easy it is. Would it be helpful? You can directly get some real feedback from real users, right? Then the second part is this screen. Actually, we try to put our brand into the detail part, this is the splash page before you open a web page, or before you at the first place when you open an app, you will see something. Is it a good way to show our brand, or like how can we combine our concept on this page? Then, like ugly truth, the first version is usually not the same as the last one, right? This is what the designer showed to us, but this is the first version when we see a development team show to us. Then it's okay. Like we just need to know like there's a difference, and from the technical perspective, how close we can get to, if we have a deadline, or if we want to reach to an ideal status, how much more time do we need? How much more resource do we need? at least it's a material to communicate with the team, like where can we reach within a certain period of time. Okay, then responsive web design, like I mentioned, because we are at the very beginning, we are thinking about different platforms. So this is the mobile version, this is the PC version with a wide screen, and the pad version. Okay, and a dark mode and light mode. It's actually, before this product begin, in our old product, which is the Untoken app in the phone, so many users has been asking for dark mode for the wallet, but it's because the product has been evolved for multiple years, and it's not so easy to, consistently change all the elements at once. So for this platform, at the very beginning, we put that into our design. Okay, then, of course, very important to get some real feedback from real people. In the entire company, there are a few people who are not involved in this project. So people who are involved in this project, we are way too familiar than the ordinary people for this product. So we just ask people in the company, but outside of the project, actually everyone, as long as you are willing to spend some of the time to walk through the process and try to claim some token, then all the red color words are some of the feedback from the team. Then you can see, imagine if we didn't do this test internally and the product goes online, that is quite some effort and is hurting our brand as well. So the earlier feedback you can collect, try to do it because it's cheaper, it's faster, and it's easier. Okay, so eventually the real campaign, at the beginning, the user will land on the claim page. Let's wait for this. They will land on this page. Oh, I think it's almost, they will land on this page, and then they try to claim, then create a new account by the passkey. Then they will set up by their Face ID or fingerprint, depends on your device. Okay, after you set it up, then you click on claim again, then you see, okay, you claim directly. So this is the process in the DEF CON, and echo to what I mentioned, what we want to get the feedback from the event. So we want to see whether the way we show the token makes sense to the user. We want to see our account mapping with the passkey, does that work well? We want to see the token profile and the call to action. Do people get it? And the landing experience. Okay, so after last year, November, we learned from the users, and then we knew next year, which is this year, 2025, in April, there's an event in Taipei, and we do have a Taipei office. So we want to do some testing in East Taipei as well, which is earlier this year. So in this event, what we want to test out is those are like more technical terms. You can see from here, keyless, gasless, frictionless, which is, to me, means user experience. And cross-chain transaction means it's cross-chain, paying tokens or sending tokens. Chain-specific address. What does that mean? That means it sounds scary for me who doesn't have a technical background. So someone helped me to summarize into this term, send X to Y on Z. So X means the token. And this USDC, the token itself comes with which chain or which network the token is on. Y is the person, and Z is the chain. So Y might help us to determine where the chain, how should I reframe this? Because it's about the chain-specific address, and somehow it connects to the ENS as well. So this person on which network helps, these two information combines to this chain-specific ENS. Okay, so this is what we have at the very beginning. Then, like I mentioned, X means token with chain data. Y and Z, we need to think about the happy path. what if this is not OP, this is another chain? And this Bob may not have this OP chain, may not have this account address on OP chain. Maybe he prefer to have the token on base or other network, right? Then we need to think about the fallback scenario, okay? So different type of scenario. Is it a specific chain or is there a preferred chain? Is it a set network, default network, blah, blah, blah. And also, I think back then, I'm not sure about now, but back then I think this chain-specific address, the format is not defined. And we want to influence like more people in the community. So we are proposing this type of format, like OP is the chain information, Bob is the ENS information, and .eth. But there are other options as well. And internally, we do have some debate, discussion, which format works the best and what's the reason. Okay, so in earlier this year, in April, yeah, we did this very similar thing, but same different in Singapore terms. So besides of QR code and claimable link, which is like web.token.in/claim, we also tried on this NFT sticker. And like technically, we want to see how it works. And maybe ordinary people who participate in this event find it more intuitive by tap on something and then I see some result from the device. Okay, then send. Claimable link itself actually means someone was sending this token on chain, then another person can claim, right? So that means the user can send a link to another person as well. Okay, then cross-chain experience, which is what I mentioned earlier. Also, some of the user flow we developed earlier, we were trying to polish the design as well. Like this homepage, you see this view is quite different from the previous one you saw earlier, the first version which the development team shared with us. And then the token main page, which we want to show the easier version for the user. And the same flow, which you can switch different way to send the token out. Then the chain-specific address, of course, by default, user can send by the raw address, which is not very friendly for people, right? But once the address being detected, if it's an ENS connected on on multiple network, then you will be prompted which one you want to select. By ENS as well, you can see that from if I key in ENS, which can be rechecked on multiple network, you will see the option as well. Okay, the chain-specific one, like we try to implement this op.token.eth. Then because this OP term, then the system can recognize it's on OP. We want to get some feedback from the user, like I mentioned. Okay, so on this event, we want to experiment a send-by-link experience, cross-chain experience, chain-specific address, and NFC exploration. Okay, so now is almost our go-to-market time. What did we do for go-to-market? If you want to go to market to face the real user, you need to know what are the top few things a user should know when they land on your product. But now you see our homepage is a few crystal balls, which a user may not know what does that mean, may not know what can they do with that balls, and may not know what are a few things they should do before they can interact with all these tokens or all these balls. What are the things users should know? And then the social send. We tested earlier for the send by link. Send by link means is a URL link it doesn't rely on any platform like Messenger or WhatsApp or Line or WeChat, whichever platform, as long as you can send this URL out, you can send to other people. Okay, so we call it social send for now. Then we want to introduce the token to meet visitors' need. At the moment, we don't know who will be visiting our platform. We don't know their need. We don't know what they're interested in crypto world. But how can we help all of them, and how can we fulfill different needs? The last one is the product market fit evaluation. At the moment, we still don't know whether it will fulfill the needs for the market, but that's the excitement part. That's the excitement for building a new product, right? Otherwise, you are just repeating what other people has been doing, right? Okay, so the product market fit, we are at very early stage. We are seeing whether it will work out. So not thinking about like massive expansion. Of course, if that happens, that's a good thing, but that's not the whole purpose for now. Then we also, this looks so cute. Our team also talked to different type of users. We maybe probably call it user segments. KOL, we talked to real KOL. We are testing with newbie. And some Web3 potentially usage, like gift card, and our current untoken users. So we get some positive feedback because we are like close to go to market, so I won't explain all of them. But at least for KOL, they did mention it's easy and it's helpful if they want to do some, if they want to send some token to their audience. But we also found some like big warnings. Some of our users from mainland China told us a lot of Android devices are not fully support passkey, which is a big thing for us because our technology, our solution heavily relying on this technology. But is that is that stopping us from moving forward? Even though you don't have the passkey on your mobile device, you can still use it on your laptop, right? Because there are different ways of access, but this is a known issue for the team. Then the second part is the newbie. I guess now there are so many scams, not just in crypto, in all the different industry, in all the different things. Like from time to time, you get an unknown phone number. You are not very motivated to pick it up, right? A long URL link is causing a lot of concern, especially when people are not familiar with the sender or not familiar with technology, not familiar with this platform, right? So for the gift card, earlier we did test the NFC solution. In the event, it went quite well, but it did take a lot of effort to set it up. And also we did facing the regulation and NFC security issue that probably will, it's quite challenging for us to solve those issues in time. Right? And then for our user, I think some of the repeated challenge, but at least before we go to market, we are aware of all these challenges. Then go to market message, still testing, still work in progress because it's not really like released to the market yet. But when you need to communicate with the whole market with a massive audience, you can only mention a few very simple, very short sentence slogan. Then those are some of the highlights from the team, how we want to communicate with the users. Now after I think 30, 40 minutes, you knew quite something about this product. But imagine if this is the first 5 minutes when I started this talk, then you don't know it's web-based. You don't know you don't need to download it. And you don't know it's easy, it's secure. You don't know like what is passkey. Not everyone knows what it is, right? Gas abstracted, what does that mean to the end user? And social send is kind of a new term. How should we package it, right? Okay, so I also mentioned like to fulfill different needs. It's a bit blurry. It's a GIF image I recorded from the laptop. So basically, there are different token collections. you can manage it by different topics, maybe by stock tokens, by regulated stables, etc. And user can create their own collection as well. And within one collection, they can be multiple tokens. Then probably from learning how user create their collection, we can also inspired by the user's behavior. Okay, so now we are preparing for October. Those are the few things we are doing at the moment. Market positioning, go-to-market message, and how the business and technology and user value can map in together to find a sweet spot. Okay, so after 30 minutes, maybe I pause here for a while. Any questions so far? Yes?
Yeah, so thank you for the presentation. I can see what really shaped more of your journey is feedback from the users.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how do you ensure that you get the most touching feedback from non-crypto users?
The most touching feedback
Yeah.
from non-crypto users. Okay, I think at the moment it's easier to get non-crypto users feedback than crypto users feedback. We are in this field, so people around you might be crypto, you know a bit about crypto. At least you are not strongly against this idea, right? But if you go to 7-Eleven, most likely you will need people who are not very open to this concept. And I think depends on where your location is or how specific you need from the feedback. Of course, from a user research perspective, it's almost impossible to get everyone's feedback, right? So the question is actually, how can I take minimum effort but get good enough feedback to help me make decision to move my product forward, right? And in my experience, once you start talking to maybe less than 20 people, you can start seeing some patterns. And that patterns help you to getting confidence about your product or losing confidence about your product. Of course, if you are talking about, for example, a DeFi project, then you need to get someone who understands what DeFi is, right? So that means if the user's profile is too far away from your target audience, then this user's feedback, it cannot be 100% helping you to build your product. But the question is, if you are getting someone out of crypto into this field, then getting their feedback is super valuable, right? Compared to asking people around here, right? Because they know the idea, right? Yeah?
Did you face any regulatory challenges being based in Singapore?
We did have a team managing that, but to be honest, that is not in my field at the moment. Yes, so I think we are probably around the world in different locations. People are facing different level of regulation challenge. But to be honest, all the innovative ideas are like that. Before I joined the team, I mean, one of my past experience was with Grab. And back then, Grab Grab driver, they don't have a private company license, and they are competing with tech driver. And some period of time, even now still, like in some countries, Uber still competing with the local taxi drivers. I think that's where the innovation started. Because if you 100% following the regulation, then that means it's not very new, because someone already set up a rule and regulating this area, right? It's like mutually need to move hand in hand and moving forward. So yeah, that's my take.
And also, like, how did they came up with the logo? Is there any significance of the logo?
This logo?
Yeah.
This logo starting from the shell, in Mandarin, the shell, like, I don't know, like 1,000 years ago, it means the token. I think the original idea is coming from there. What's coming from there? Any?
Also, what are your thoughts on using mobile numbers? So you had one which was like Send Social. also like, because I've gotten like a lot of feedback in terms of sending, like using mobile numbers to do transactions. Have you also had like a feedback from the users or thoughts on that? So like, if like I have a phone number, I can take someone's phone number and then send a token to the person instead of having a social SIM, because some of the users also like they don't. Some of the users like who don't usually use, talking about like our continent, they don't usually use these social platforms. So phone number is one of like the best ways to actually send.
I think when we talk about send by link, there's a lot of discussion in this area internally in a team, right? Phone number is, of course, one of the ways. Today, when we are using PayNow, it's like phone number is also easier to remember. But we also consider like the scenario when the sender don't know the receiver. Are you comfortable to give your phone number to another stranger, right? And phone number is very. I think personally, I do feel the privacy level gets to another level because that person can identify me, like directly. That phone number, if I need to claim some token by giving my phone number, maybe I won't like really willing to do that. But if that person, I knew this person, my phone number originally is in this person's phone book, then probably is a good way. But at the moment, we are still like experiencing the send by link. The link is a URL link because that doesn't limit it who you want to send to and who will sending you, and it doesn't declare any of your personal information. Yeah.
Also, one more question: like, how many developers or designers did you hire before you started getting feedback from the user? Like before that stage?
Before. I don't have the exact number, but in my position, what I can aware is, especially for this project, this is one of the most complicated projects for me because I'm not a like technical person, right? But I do aware in this project there are people who are working on the smart contract, working on the infrastructure, which is the back-end person, I guess, and then the front-end person, and then the designer is working on the mobile version and the desktop version. And I think we also have a PWA, means it's a web app, right? So to be honest, I don't have the number, like how many people really being included in the whole project. And also from time to time, I guess even behind my understanding, there are people working on a smart contract, talking to other vendors or other contract, other protocol, which beyond my knowledge. So I couldn't give you that number, but I do aware the complexity of this technology. Like, and talking to that, I think it's important to mention, you see like from users' perspective, they don't really care, right? They don't really know like behind this, there are infrastructure team, they are like designers working on they are working on tokens and all the platforms, right? Yeah.
Also, another thing is, do you have like their local currencies integrated also?
Local.
So for instance, like the ordinary people, when they come to claim the token, you can see like the Singapore dollars. How does it work for them? Because when they have the token, they would want to change it into their local currency.
Yeah, so that is in our backlog, to be honest. But now in the system, in the preference setting place, you can already set up, I think, 2 or 3 different currencies. Yeah, that's how early we are. That's what I want to emphasize. Yes?
I wanted to know more about the feedback that you got from the users, more about sending of links. Because right now, it's scary to scan links or just send through links because of the malicious attacks. So how do you solve that? What are the kind of feedbacks you guys have got? How do you solve that?
So this is how early we are, and along this journey, there are a few things unexpectedly happened. For example, you mentioned the URL, the long URL. I don't know what is the best way to show the long URL, how long it is, but at least personally, if I receive a URL as long as that in my WhatsApp from a stranger, I wouldn't dare to click on it. That's how long it is, right? So I guess it at least a half page of my phone if I send a link directly to another person, right? But one way is, can we shorten the link? One way is, can we replace it by maybe a QR code, or are there other ways? Like, for example, the receiver can put in 4 digits, so the sender doesn't need to send out anything. Or should we compromise a little bit? We shouldn't be so decentralized. We should centralize a little bit, so now it can be a go-to-market product. All these different questions are like under consideration, and within the team, there are a lot of discussion around this area.
Okay, thank you. The QR code can be like more vulnerable because like anyone can create a QR code, so you won't be able to see the long link
So,
URL.
I won't emphasize too much about the technical part, but let me just get so if this is the screen for the phone, right? The QR code needs to be this big to be able to carry all the information needed for the URL. Then this is the fun part of the creating the product, right? There's no direct absolute answer to say which one is good or bad. A lot of things you need to start doing something, then you realize, oh, then this part we have to do something about it. Okay, then let me continue. Did I go right back? Okay, so I guess this is one, maybe last 2 pages. So first thing, we don't have all the answer at the beginning. So a lot of things, like I mentioned, we didn't know the URL would be as long as half of the screen. So set a temporary goal and build for it, then reflect from the process. And we need all the functions working together to move fast. Like I mentioned, I didn't know, like, behind my scene, beyond my understanding, there are designers, engineers, different type of engineers. And sometimes they communicate in a language that I don't understand. But I always ask the question, what does that mean to the users? And I do expect they can help me to get more about that. Because all the complex part, you know, no matter how much effort you put in your product, if the user don't understand, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Right? And get the feedback, check the data, and learn from it. Not all the important things are measurable. A lot of times it's just about maybe a call to action. People don't get it. Or we didn't know there are so many passkey not supported in mainland China. And that also trigger us to explore more potential solutions that we didn't think of as well. Then the 6th one, because we are about to go to market, I didn't know what we are going to learn more once we did that. And the last one, most importantly, enjoy the process. Okay, that's all. How's everyone feeling? So if we have a few more questions, otherwise I think, yes?
Yeah, so one of my last questions is the most challenging part that I personally get is getting a lot of feedback from people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you try to like arrange the feedback, you find like it's kind of scattered feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some prefer A, some prefer B, some prefer C, D.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you come at repositioning your product,
Mm-hmm.
or like kind of changing the direction
Mm-hmm.
when you get the feedback?
Mm-hmm.
How do you come to decide, okay, I will choose this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think at different stage of the product, the answer is different. So if you are very early stage, when people say they prefer A over B, first of all, the options, they should be different enough for them to differentiate and able to give you a narrative behind their decision. Okay, at a very early stage, if it's still a concept, then asking why is more than how many people choose A over B. The why reason should help you to probably probably should reframe your problem statement, or at the beginning maybe your product position. For you, you are quite clear, but for the users, they are not clear, right? Just by telling your idea to another person and get this person's reaction, sometimes people try to say nice things to you, especially they know when it's your idea. People doesn't want to hurt you, right? Right. So usually, when I was still like running the user research on the ground, I usually would say my job is just to collect feedback, getting people's real feedback to the team. So no matter whether it's good or bad, we want to know it. I'm not the person building the product. I'm here to get the real feedback. So getting real feedback, that gives the sense of safety for the person to confidently share, like honestly share their reaction. And in the earliest, even like whichever stage, the real feedback is difficult to get, right? But how to frame and how to, when people give you something and then you prompt more, sometimes people just want to make decision. They don't have a reason behind their decision. That also may happen, right? So early stage, the why is more important than number of people prefer this one than that one. Right. When we start to do the quantitative analysis, right, then you need to have big enough sample size to be able to do all the analysis. Right. But before that, I think the qualitative insight is more critical. Yeah.
And then another thing I wanted to add, what about like in terms of the trust and more of like the competitive advantage? So like like a lot of people are already using platforms like Binance, and like other platforms. So how do you bring this product to them in terms of trust?
I think that's a very good question. So centralized service, the benefit of using centralized service is very clear. It's efficient, it's quick. And for decentralized service, the benefit is not so easy to understand. And for ordinary people who don't code, who don't do computer programming things, it's hard for them to evaluate how safe it is. Even like you cannot just tell another person this is safe and expecting that person to 100% trust you, right? So now, personally, I try to reframe it as we are building a decentralized service. How can we make people feel it's as easy as centralized service? Compared to that, the other way around, because it's only when bad things happen, like FTX, that kind of like very big news happen, people will realize, oh, this is dangerous. But even that happened, people, like, not all the people understand the real damaging part is about centralized service. A lot of people thought the entire crypto is dangerous, right? So you don't have the, you cannot force people to educate themselves. And it's very difficult, it's very expensive to do as well, to share the right information, compete with the fake information, and help another person who have less knowledge than you to understand your idea, right? But at least if you can, if your service can be as good as Binance, then it's for them to decide whether they still want to go with a centralized service or now they have another option. So actually, to be honest, before this slide, after this slide, I originally want to put another slide, but I want to put an opportunity. What are the opportunities that we can chase, right? But I can like roughly explain my idea. From centralized to decentralized, there are a lot of decisions you need to make. Maybe how to create an account, where to secure the key, how to sign the transaction, or how to show the information to the users, etc., etc. It's not just either you are centralized or decentralized. There are a lot of decisions make you pro-centralized or pro-decentralized. Right now, to fit the current market, you need to decide at which location you want to locate it on this spectrum. And there are a lot of new technology helping us to make a better decision. There are AA, there are GA, there are passkey, etc., which doesn't exist 5 years ago. Right now, we have more things in our toolbox, help us to build a more intuitive service for the end consumers who doesn't have to know all the different technical terms. They don't know, they don't have to know, but if you can provide something meaningful, valuable to them, they will get on board to your platform. Yeah. Okay. I think we probably have 5 more minutes. But
I have a question.
yes.
As you mentioned, you're from a psychology background.
Yes.
So from that point of view,
Mm-hmm.
do you think the need of having security and having privacy
Mm-hmm.
compare with the need of convenient to use, easy, and sometimes a little bit at a bonus, this
Mhm.
kind of the attraction that we used to see in the Web2
Mhm.
products? So do you
Mhm.
think that the need that decentralized world
Mhm.
emphasize is not that grasping for the massive, the mass the general population?
Mhm.
In other words, do you think right now the desire for the attempt of mass adoption
Mhm.
is still a bit far?
Mhm. That's a very interesting question. So, coming from the Web2 organization, all the data are available, at least on our platform, right? If we want to know how many people make a booking at which period of time of the day, right? Or in different locations, what are questions people are asking, on average, how many tips do people give to the drivers, etc., right? So if you have all this information from the data, then you can think about, okay, generally on which period of time people are more tend to give tips. So probably we can build something around this area, right? Compared to Web3, when I just enter in this area, I still have doubt. Even now, I still have doubt. But my assumption is, what if this is right? I just fundamentally feel crypto or blockchain might be the area where science and social science can combine together. And that's very sexy. I think the traditional finance system was being built by people who benefited from it, right? But it's very hard to prove the new one is better. It's easier to be different, but how can you say it's better? And also people who grow up in Singapore, in Taiwan, in many advanced countries where they have well-polished financial system, they don't see the need of decentralization. And also they are benefited from centralized. So how can we make them feel, oh, you actually need this? Because you're actually selling something people who don't know they need, they may not need, right? Unless something really damaging happens somewhere, then that can be taken as an example. You see, when this happens, you need this. So that's one thing. For many for many traditional finance systems, very well-developed country, people may not feel the need of transferring to another system. That's one thing. The second thing is, since very early stage, I've been sharing within the team or outside of the team as well. I think all people in crypto, people should know, security and sense of feeling secure is different thing. Okay. people who don't understand technology, how can you decide like which virus detect preventing system you should go with? They don't know because they don't know how to differentiate. It's very like as a man, if you want to purchase cosmetics to your girlfriend, do you think the person will sell you with, you know, like all the ingredient in this, like, I don't know, lotion or something? You don't need to know all the detail inside. You just need to know how this lotion can help your girlfriend. Is it like helping you to, like, all the different effects for the cosmetics? We need to start selling more values to the end users instead of talking about all the technical terms. Because even though I'm not a technical person, but I have been in a tech company for more than 10 years. If I don't understand, I won't expect more people will understand, right? If I'm not being convinced, then other people wouldn't have that patience and motivation and intention to get to learn more in this field. Only for people who study computer science, probably they will be interested. And that won't make the 7% number go to beyond 10, I would say, right? So we want to talk to a majority, we need to talk in a way they can understand.
Yeah, I can see from the psychology background and more of the product research. I would want to know what have you, like, in the journey, what have you realized that users care more about when it comes to Web3?
When it comes to?
Web3 products.
Well, to be honest, people around me, they don't really care. They don't care yet. Yeah, but our job is, like this product, I want to make them feel it's so easy to start getting some tokens, and it's so easy to get to know tokens. You don't need to actively looking out for tokens. Tokens should come to you and should explain to you how they can be used. Yeah.
Speaking of tokens, can you share how have projects used tokens? Like, is it for utility, is it for governance, is it for, or do they just compare it to giving out coupons? How do they exactly use it?
Yeah, to be honest, in this slide, I didn't share much about what can people do with the token, because now it's a very early stage, and how to get them on this platform. I think now we have the most basic one, which is the go-to-market one. When we have all the different collection of the tokens, actually our team, we can build, we can manage how many collection we want to show on this screen. And we are also like developing another view, which is more organized. Like if you go to App Store, you don't, sometimes you do search, but sometimes you have different collections, different categories, help you to understand what are the apps available in the App Store. So this part, I think we can come later. Now we can already use all the different collections to communicate with the users. If you are interested in stock tokens, like in Singapore, it's easy to have a US stock market account, but in many countries, it's not so easy. Then people who are interested in US stock market, they can start from here. So in those markets, we probably will take this as one of the trigger. Oh, you can start getting NVIDIA or whichever stock, holding it. Some of the benefit you will get, some of the benefit you won't get. But at least this might be the first step for people to get into the US stock market. For people who are more interested in mint but don't know where to start, maybe this is a good place to start. So here we do have like maybe 10 plus things we can create at very beginning. But each token on different chains, different networks, they can do, we support it differently in the system, and we help them to filter out. You will only see things you can do. If you cannot interact with the token by like swapping or sell it, you won't see the action here. So people doesn't need to learn, they need to interact. Yes?
Also, on the product token launch, It's exchange.
Decentralized exchange. Yeah.
Decentralized. Is it permissionless or permission? Like, if I just launch a token and can I just write some code and integrate within token law for it to be exchanged with other tokens?
To be honest, I am not. I don't have enough knowledge to help to answer these questions. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, token loan is being handled by another person. Yes. Okay, I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for presentation. I think it's in very early stage, and they already integrate the psychology part in the product. I think we all have our early age product. We can grab him, her, or him to discuss a little bit more. And thank you.
No problem. Thank you, everyone.